Shri Dhankarji and Dr. Sudesh Dhankarji. It is a matter of course that the Vice President shall interact with our It is a matter of course that the Vice President shall present in my vision for greater Bharat. Today fills me with.
May I request the august gathering to please remain standing for the national anthem.
At this crossroads.
Namaskar, good evening, and a warm welcome to this purposeful event, which intends to explore the ideas for building a better Bharat, with a focus on enhancing education, promoting sustainable development, emphasizing exclusive growth, fostering innovation, empowering women. With these words, may I request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur, Shri Suresh Havreji, to welcome the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankarji. Sir, please. I request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome Madam Dr. Sudesh Dhankarji. I humbly request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome the Honorable Governor of Chhattisgarh, Shri Raman Dekaji. May I request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome the Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vishnu Dev Saiji. I humbly request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome the Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vijay Sharma ji. I request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome Shri Tokhan Sahu ji, Member of Parliament and Minister of State for Housing and Urban Affairs. I request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome Dr. Prem Sagar Mishra ji, CMD of South Eastern Coalfields Limited. May I request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome Professor Rajiv Prakash ji, Director, IIT Bhilai. I request Chairman BOG NIT Raipur to welcome Professor R.K. Kakani ji, Director, IIM Raipur. Thank you so much, sir. I request Professor N.V. Ramana Rao, sir, Director, NIT Raipur, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Good evening to all. Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, Madam Dr. Srimati Sudesh Dhankar ji, Honorable Governor of Chhattisgarh, Shri Raman Dekha ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vishnu Dev Sihai ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vijay Sharma ji, Honorable Minister of State for Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Shri Topen Sahu ji, Dr. Suresh Havre ji, Chairman BOG NIT Raipur, Dr. P.S. Mishra ji, CMD SCCL, Professor Rajiv Prakash, Director IIT Bhilai, Professor R.K. Kakani, Director IIM Raipur, respected faculty members, my fellow students, press and media, and everyone present here. I extend a very warm welcome to you all. Today, as we gather for a discussion on ideas for building a better Bharat, I extend my warmest greetings and welcome to each one of you. It's a day of pride, reflection, and immense gratitude as we all have gathered to take this great nation forward. 77 years ago, our forefathers envisioned an India that was free, self-reliant, and progressive. They fought for a country where every citizen would have the opportunity to rise, to dream, and to realize their potential. Today, let us contemplate our future because as students of engineering, we hold in our hands the tools and the knowledge that can shape the destiny of our nation. We are living in an era of rapid technological advancements where the world is transforming at an unprecedented pace, fueled by innovation, scientific breakthroughs, and technological progress. Our country faces numerous challenges, be it in energy, infrastructure, environment, or social inequality. As future engineers, we must not only aim to build systems that are efficient and effective, but also that are inclusive and sustainable. Our solution must consider the well-being of every citizen, ensuring that the benefits of progress are shared by all. In this dynamic landscape, NIT Raipur has emerged as a premier technical institute in the tribal state of Chhattisgarh, offering the widest range of engineering branches among all NITs in India. NIT Raipur, established as a government engineering college in 1956, has a 68-year legacy and became an NIT in 2005, earning the status of an institute of national importance in 2007. Starting with mining and metallurgical engineering, we now offer 12 undergraduate, 12 postgraduate, and PhD programs. Due to a shortage of time, I would like to conclude my speech early. I would like to personally extend my gratitude to CMD of SCCL for sanctioning 48.19 crores under SCCL's CSR activity for the construction of a 500-bedded standalone girls' hostel at NIT Raipur. We anticipate receiving additional CSR funds for the development of smart classrooms, electric buses, and other initiatives to further enhance the institute's infrastructure and activities. I am happy to share that Sri Bajrang Lal Agarwal ji, Managing Director of Godavari Power and Ispat Limited, has agreed to sponsor under CSR initiative one electric bus costing nearly 1.5 crores and one smart classroom costing approximately 1 crore. I thank the Honorable Vice President of India for taking time to come and discuss with our students his ideas for making a better Bharat. I am sure his address will give a lot of food for thought for our young students. It is my proud privilege and honor to extend a very warm and heartfelt welcome to Sir on behalf of the entire NIT family. Sir, your gracious presence here today is a source of immense inspiration to all of us. As a leader of great vision and intellect, your contribution to the nation's development and governance have been exemplary. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to hear your precious insights and valuable guidance, especially for the budding minds in the fields of management and engineering. Sir, your words of wisdom today will undoubtedly serve as a beacon of knowledge and motivation for our students who are at the cusp of shaping their careers and contributing to the nation's progress. We sincerely thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us and sharing your vision, which will certainly enrich and elevate the aspirations of our future leaders and innovators. Thank you all for your unwavering support and commitment to our shared vision of unity and diversity. Let us move forward with renewed vigor, determination and passion to make a positive impact on Bharat as a whole. May this event inspire us to strive for excellence in every aspect of life and help us to build a better Bharat. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. May I request the Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vishnu Deo Sai ji, to present his views on building a better Bharat with the audience. Sir.
बोलिए भारत माता की, भारत माता की, छत्तीसगढ़ महतारी की, छत्तीसगढ़ महतारी की। आज रायपुर की इस पावन धरती में बेहतर भारत के निर्माण के लिए सुझाव, जैसे आज के इस कार्यक्रम में मंच में विराजमान हमारे भारतवर्ष के सम्माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी, मंच में विराजमान डॉक्टर सुदेश धनखड़ जी, हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ के सम्माननीय राज्यपाल महोदय श्री रमेन डेका जी, हमारे प्रदेश के डिप्टी सीएम श्री विजय शर्मा जी, केंद्रीय राज्य मंत्री श्री तोखन साहू जी, एनआईटी के चेयरमैन बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स श्री सुरेश सवारे जी, सीएमडी एससीसीएल डॉक्टर पीएस मिश्रा जी, आईआईटी भिलाई के निदेशक प्रोफेसर राजीव प्रकाश जी, आईआईएम रायपुर के निदेशक प्रोफेसर आर के ककानी जी, एनआईटी रायपुर के निदेशक प्रोफेसर एनवी रमन्ना राव जी, और इस कार्यक्रम में मौजूद एनआईटी रायपुर, आईआईटी भिलाई एवं आईआईएम रायपुर के सभी निदेशकगण, मेरे प्यारे स्टूडेंट्स और संभ्रांत नागरिक बंधुओं, आज हम लोगों का सौभाग्य है, छत्तीसगढ़ का सौभाग्य है कि एक महीना के अंदर हम लोग हमारे देश के सम्माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी को दूसरी बार अपने बीच पा रहे हैं। ये हम लोग के लिए सौभाग्य की बात है और मैं चाहूंगा कि जोरदार करतल ध्वनि से उनका स्वागत करेंगे। आज हमारे सामने युवा पीढ़ी बैठी है जो प्रदेश के सबसे प्रतिष्ठित प्रौद्योगिकी एवं प्रबंधन संस्थाओं में अध्ययन कर रही है। हम सभी बेहतर भारत के निर्माण के लिए सुझावों पर चर्चा कर रहे हैं। यह विषय हम सबके दिल के बहुत करीब है, क्योंकि हम सभी लगातार यह सोचते हैं कि किस तरह हमारा ये देश नई बुलंदियों को छुए। मेरा पहला सुझाव तो यह है कि इसके लिए सबसे पहले हमें अपनी जड़ों को समझना होगा, हमारे गौरवशाली इतिहास और सनातन परंपराओं का गहरा अध्ययन करना होगा। हमारा देश प्राचीन काल में विश्व गुरु था। इसकी वजह थी हमारे यहाँ के तक्षशिला, नालंदा जैसे विश्वविद्यालय, जिनकी ख्याति पूरी दुनिया में फैली थी। आज हमारे आईआईटी, आईआईएम और एनआईटी संस्थान प्रतिभाशाली युवाओं को तैयार कर रहे हैं, जिन्होंने अपना डंका पूरी दुनिया में बजाया है। हमारे पौराणिक ग्रंथ भी शिक्षा को ही आगे बढ़ाने का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण साधन मानते हैं। छत्तीसगढ़ ने सौभाग्य से अपनी शिक्षा व्यवस्था पर बहुत काम किया है। एनआईटी, आईआईटी तथा आईआईएम जैसे संस्थाओं का यहाँ होना इसे प्रमाणित करता है। बेहतर भारत के निर्माण के लिए हमें देश के समक्ष प्रस्तुत चुनौतियां समझनी होंगी। भारत जिन चुनौतियों का सामना कर रहा है वो दुनिया भर के और देश भी कर रहे हैं। सबसे पहले चुनौती वैश्वीकरण की इस दौर में अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूत रखना है। हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत का नारा देकर इसके लिए मजबूत कदम बढ़ाए हैं। दूसरी चुनौती जलवायु परिवर्तन को लेकर है, लेकिन ऐसी चुनौतियां अवसर लेकर भी आती हैं। छत्तीसगढ़ में इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए हम ग्रीन स्टील को बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं। आइडिया यह है कि जहां चुनौती होती है उसी में अवसर भी छिपे होते हैं। मेरे सामने युवा बैठे हैं। आप सभी के मन में बहुत से आइडियाज होते हैं, बस एक माहौल होना चाहिए जहां इन विचारों को फलने फूलने का अवसर मिलता रहे। छत्तीसगढ़ में हमने ऐसे ही स्टार्टअप तैयार करने के लिए कोवर्किंग सेंटर बनाए हैं। नवा रायपुर को हम आईटी हब के रूप में विकसित कर रहे हैं। बेहतर भारत बनाने के सूत्र हम सबके पास मौजूद है। बस जरूरत है कड़ी मेहनत की, अपने आइडिया पर भरोसा रखने की और अपने मूल्यों को साथ में रखने की। हर मंजिल आपकी होगी। वर्ष 2047 में हम सभी मिलकर विकसित भारत, विकसित छत्तीसगढ़ का निर्माण अवश्य करेंगे। मैं पुनः आप सब लोगों का हृदय से स्वागत अभिनंदन करते हुए और हमारे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके सबके उज्जवल भविष्य की कामना करते हुए और एक बार फिर माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी का मैं चाहूंगा कि आप सब लोग करतल ध्वनि से स्वागत करेंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
अपने विचार हमारे साथ साझा करने के लिए आपका बहुत धन्यवाद श्रीमान। May I request the Honorable Governor of Chhattisgarh, Shri Ramen Dekha ji, to share his thoughts with the august gathering. Sir.
Namaskar. Respected Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, Honorable Vice President of India, Madam Sudesh Dhankar ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vishnudev Sai, Shri Vijay Sharma, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Token Sahu, Honorable Minister of Government of India, Shri Suresh Haure, Chairman NIT, Shri P.S. Mishra, Professor Rajiv Prakash, Professor R.K. Kakani, Professor N.B. Ramanna Rao, students and teachers, journalists, friends, and august gathering. It gives me immense pleasure when I meet students and teachers because they are the torchbearer of the society. They can fructify the dreams of millions and they are looking to you. I feel very happy to welcome our learned Vice President Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji and Dr. Sudesh Dhankar ji. It is a matter of pride that Vice President Sir will interact today with our youth and guide them for building better Bharat. Presenting my vision for better Bharat today fills me with enormous pleasure and a deep feeling of responsibility. At this crossroads in our nation's history, the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 compels us to build our future on the principle of equality, freedom, and progress. Chhattisgarh, with its rich cultural legacy, abundant natural resources, and resilient communities, is uniquely poised to contribute significantly to this national vision. Our state has demonstrated remarkable advancement in the area of agriculture, industry, and education by empowering rural communities through sustainable agriculture, promoting tribal entrepreneurship, and investing in state-of-the-art infrastructure. Chhattisgarh can emerge as a beacon of inclusive and sustainable development. Social harmony is another cornerstone of national progress. Upholding values like community service, discipline, and collective responsibility will cultivate a society where every individual contributes meaningfully to nation building. Environmental conservation must be deeply embedded in our progress. Chhattisgarh's large forests and rich biodiversity underscore the need for sustainable growth. By committing to planting 100 million trees by 2030 and registering 50% of our energy needs to renewable sources, we can set a national example in environmental stewardship. Education must evolve to become a cornerstone of national advancement. Integrating value-based education with practical skills will drive us towards 100% literacy and employability by 2040. As our journey together towards a Viksit Bharat by 2047, let us embrace unity in diversity, honor our shared heritage and move forward with unwavering determination. Let us build a Bharat that is prosperous, inclusive, and a beacon of progress for the world. Once again, I thank Thankarji for his presence and sprinkle your blessing to the students. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Chhattisgarh.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful ideas. Today is significant for us as a new project, that is SECL Girls Hostel, will be initiated at NIT Raipur. Southeastern Coalfields Limited funds the project using its corporate social responsibility practices. May I humbly request the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, to virtually lay the foundation stone for the SECL Girls Hostel. May I request the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, to address the august gathering.
भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, छत्तीसगढ़ मैत्री की, छत्तीसगढ़ मैत्री की, छत्तीसगढ़ मैत्री की। ऑनरेबल गवर्नर ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़ श्री रमन डेका जी, Honorable Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Vishnu Dev Sai, Honorable Member of Parliament from this place, Minister of State, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Shri Tokan Sahu, Shri Vijay Sharma ji, Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Shri Suresh Havre ji, Chairman, Board of Governors, NIT, Dr. P.S. Mishra, Chairman and Managing Director, Southeastern Coalfields Limited, Professor Rajiv Prakash, Director, IIT Bhilai, Professor R.K. Kakani, Director, IIM Raipur, Professor N.V. Ramana Rao, Director, NIT Raipur, distinguished faculty, guests, and my dear students. I am so happy I am not a student. Otherwise, 3 directors being present here. You can imagine the power they wield. But once a student, always a student. My greetings to them. And I am particularly grateful to Professor N.V. Ramana Rao for getting everyone here. The presence of Sri Suresh Avare, Chairman Board of Governors, NIT, a remarkable creative person, amazing. The Governor of the state, visionary, passionate, gracious presence. The Honorable Chief Minister, a son of the soil, with eyes on the ground, ears actional, and working 24/7. Supported by his Deputy Chief Minister, Shri Vijay Sharma ji. While Shri Tokan Sahu is not a member of Rajya Sabha, he is member of Lok Sabha, but as a minister I have seen his performance bubbling with energy, uncontrolled but regulated. Friends, let me lay my heart bare to you. This is a very unique function. This gathering is very different. Just imagine what an opportunity for a man like me, who has constitutional duties to perform, to interact with promising young minds who are students of NIT Raipur, IIT Bhilai, and IIM Raipur. And that too, the convergences on a topic that is of great interest to us, a topic that matters to all of us. Ideas for building better Bharat. Our mind is seized and possessed of the mission to have Viksit Bharat at 2047, when we celebrate centenary of our independence. Viksit Bharat, because of the exponential growth we have seen in last decade, is no longer a dream. It is our object. It is our definite destination. And therefore, to share your thought process, there will be 6 questions. And my ideas, there can be no better opportunity for me to get educated, to get enlightened, to get energized, and to get inspired. You all are blessed. You are in a very distinct category, because you all, boys and girls, are getting quality education. You are getting quality education that has global benchmark. And as a group, you have potential to define and navigate developmental journey of the nation, and a nation that is filled with hope and possibility. We are living in times where nothing is beyond attainment, because our recent growth trajectory has shown us path ahead. Friends, my young friends, your contributions and innovations must solve Bharat's core challenges, combining excellence with empathy, technology with tradition. My focus will be what you can do, what we can do, and what we all can do in togetherness to have a Bharat that is developed. You'll find all around youth is restive. Youth is in restlessness. That issue has to be addressed. Why it is restive? Because in last 10 years, people have tested progress. Toilet in the house, internet connectivity in the villages, piped water, gas connection, affordable housing, world-class infrastructure, an economy rising, and India being recognized as a global power. World Bank, International Monetary Fund, applauding us. Therefore, we have tested development. Our expectations from governance have turned out to be true. And from that perspective, since we have tested fruits of development, fruits of growth, therefore we are restive because we want more. Nothing wrong in that. But this is a challenge because when people taste success, they want more success and they want incremental success. No country in the world has progressed so exponentially in last 10 years as Bharat has done. No large economy has registered that high economic growth. And this has converted our Bharat into the most aspirational country in the world. This is a challenge and an opportunity for youth to transform this positivity into nation-building momentum. Each restless mind can pioneer solution. This is within your reach. On one hand, we find people are enthused at our mission of having a developed nation, Viksit Bharat at 2047. On the other hand, our people are concerned. Dysfunctional parliament, political divisiveness, and depolarization. You are thinking, young minds. You are aware of these problems. Bridge these divides through solutions that unite, not divide. Development must be our common ground. We cannot look at development from partisan stance. Development in this country is not discriminatory. It is inclusive. It is for all. It is for the first time the lives of people in the last row have benefited enormously. There is serious cause of concern also which we have to address in togetherness. Threats are emerging for our nationalism in the form of demographic disruptions. Demographic disruption is very serious. Organic demographic evolution is soothing, harmonious. But if demographic explosion takes place only to destabilize a democracy, it's a matter of concern. Then we have orchestration of conversions through allurements. It is everyone's supreme right to decide for oneself. But if that decision is moderated by allurement, by temptation, with an object to change the organic demography of the nation, it is a concern which we all must take note of and address. Imagine, my young friends, we are suffering illegal migration in this country of millions. If we go to count their number, mind-boggling. That illegal migration has to be dealt with. But it developed एक नासूर बन गया without even token of resistance. It is a problem we will have to handle because it is taking shape of unmanageable dimensions. No nation can suffer millions of illegal migrants who have potential to upset our electoral mechanism. They find easy supporters when people think in terms of petty politics. We must always put nation first. An illegal migrant in a country has no justification. If it is in millions, look at the impact it has on our economy. They strain our resources, our employment, our health sector, our education sector. A resolution of this monstrous problem of illegal migrants in millions can no longer be a solution. Every passing day would make resolution complex. We need to address this issue. Another area of concern is that a fashion has become that every institution or individual will be advising the other institution how to handle its affairs. That is not a scheme of constitutional working. Constitution has defined role for every institution. Those in legislature cannot advise judiciary how to write judgments. That is the role of judiciary. Similarly, no institution can advise day in and day out legislature how to conduct its affairs. Constitutional wisdom lies that we respect each other's territory. All are committed to serving the nation at last. And therefore, the best way to serve the nation is that every institution, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary function in their well-defined roles. Young friends, we are a sovereign nation. Our sovereignty resides in the people. The people of this country have given us the Constitution. Our sovereignty is inviolable. Inalienable facet is executive governance that is constitutionally sanctified, reflecting will of the people. If Sri Vishnu Dev Saha is the Chief Minister, the evolution has taken place through electoral system, through people's verdict. It is his and his team job to engage in executive governance. Because the team is accountable to law, accountable to the people. The rationale is those who are accountable to the people engage into executive role. Executive role can neither be outsourced, nor it can suffer that it is overtaken by some other agency. In exclusivity, executive governance lies only with the government. If executive functions are performed by any other institution, including legislature or judiciary, that is antithetical to constitutionalism. That does not augur well for the country. There is no justifiable premise where executive actions can be overtaken by others. Our Constitution envisions In categorical terms, each institution has to play a specific role while respecting others. Let institutions restrain and respect, not institutional interference. A democracy must be defined by restraint and mutual respect. We need to concretize solutions by political consensual approach through meaningful dialogues amongst political parties. There will be several political parties, they will have different ideologies, they will have different perceptions about success route. But there are some issues on which there has to be unifying fabric, unity, consensual approach, like nationalism, development, and security. Our ancient institutions of Shastrat and Vad Vivad demonstrate how profound differences were resolved through structured dialogue, where the goal was not victory or defeat, but the goal was to find the truth and collective wisdom. So that is what the nation wants. Nations are built on consensus, on commitment of everyone. Friends, through young minds like you, I appeal to those in governance that they must work so that today's political discourse revives our civilizational ethos, where consensus emerges from intellectual exchanges, not confrontation. Our political dialogues must rise above partisanship to serve not self-interest, not political interest, to serve national interests. Let me give you one illustration. UCC, Uniform Civil Code. Those of you who are aware of constitutional provisions, it's in directive principles. An obligation has been cast on governance to have law, to have uniform civil code. One state, Uttarakhand, has done it. How can you object to something which is written in our constitution, which is part of directive principles of state policy? We cannot be influenced day in and day out only with the narrow considerations of voting pattern. Framers of the Constitution were very wise, very focused. They gave us certain fundamentals. But they indicated that as democracy matures, as we progress, we must also realize for our people certain goals. One of them is Uniform Civil Code. Some we have achieved, like right to education. And therefore, nothing but national welfare should guide our response. I urge the youth of the country, I urge the youth here, you are very fortunate. You are in distinct platinum category. I urge you to realize the importance of civic action and public service. Please give primacy to duties rather than claim rights. Pledge to serve and commit to the nation and not the other way around. Resolve to always keep nation first. We all must pledge to revive and nurture our age-old unifying spirit, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that had a sense of our civilizational for millennia, 5,000 years. Rashtra Dharma, से हमको ओत-प्रोत होना पड़ेगा। राष्ट्र धर्म सदैव सर्वोपरि रहेगा हमारे लिए, and this has to be our sacred duty. Young friends, boys and girls, I am saying these things because individually each one of you can do these things. Let me take you to what you can do immediately. Every individual can be nerve center of social transformation by practicing Panch Pran. First, Kutumba Prabodhan, family enlightenment. Family is that ecosystem that gives you value-based education. It teaches you what our civilizational essence is. It teaches you be kind to your neighbor, be involved with people, respect your teachers, respect your elders. We must engage in Paryavaran Suchita, environmental awareness and protection. An individual can do it. माँ के नाम एक पेड़ has become Jan Andolan. Realize its importance, follow it. If you go into our scriptures, delve deep into them, you will find how environment was nurtured, how importance was given to it. Savdeshi was a real moving word during our freedom movement. This has been given a new dimension by the Prime Minister. Be vocal for local. But what does Savdeshi mean? If you use avoidably imported items, I'll come to a little later the consequences of that. Believe in Savdeshi. Samajik samrastha, social harmony, that's a great unifying force. Every individual can contribute to that. He or she must come forward. Why should there be social disharmony? And Nagrik Kartavya, I hinted at that. I urge all of you, please go through the fundamental duties that are in the Constitution. You will find it is so easy to perform them. Mere reading will make you aware. Oh, why I have not done it so far? It helps me. It helps my neighbor. It helps my friend. It helps society. It helps country. And these are not just principles, but these are essential for a nation to become great. Friends, the whole world is hailing part today for its demographic advantage. Because this country has 50% of the population under the age of 25 and 65% below the age of 35. This creates a large pool with potential for creativity. But this group has to function. This has to create a system whereby we contribute, we get skilled, we engage in capacity building, and from skill seekers, we graduate to skill creators. I would urge all stakeholders, institutions, industries, governments, they must come forward with a unified vision to address the critical issue of youth employment. It is equally important to broaden awareness among young people. Most of you are not aware. Your opportunity basket is expanding day by day. We are in a limited groove. We are in a silo. Government jobs. Surely world organizations, World Bank and IMF, have not accoladed Bharat for its growth, not for government jobs, for creativity in other areas. Since you are being imparted education in premium institutions, you can think out of the box. You can innovate. And that should be your thought process. You have to go beyond traditional employment premise. My young friends, we stand at the cusp of revolutionary advancements. Our nation is taking lead in quantum computing, hydrogen mission, disruptive technologies, artificial intelligence, blockchain, machine learning, and the kind are already with us. There are challenges as also opportunities. It lies for you to avail these opportunities. I have been advocating economic nationalism for long. Every person present here, every person of this country has capacity to contribute to national economy by practicing economic nationalism. If we don't import items that are avoidable, shirts, trousers, chairs, kites, candles, curtains, what not? Why? Because when we import those items, three things happen. One, our foreign exchange is drained, our people lose work, our entrepreneurs can't be engaged, and therefore, no fiscal gain, whatever be its quantum, can justify sacrifice of national interest. I would urge all of you and to take pledge. Bharat built, I emphasize Bharat built. This should be our global gold standard. Youth of the country, you are the most vital stakeholders in governance. In this last quarter of the century, of the centenary of our independence, that will fructify in Viksit Bharat 2047, you are the driving engines. Your thought process will take us to that level, and therefore, you must keep in mind, how can in this country of 1.4 billion, with civilizational ethos of the kind we have, there can be people who challenge public order, people who destroy public property. In your state also, Vande Bharat was strong. How can we overlook and countenance such kind of nuisance, such kind of elements? These must be dealt with very severely. In an exemplary manner, they must be made accountable financially. But every young man, boy and girl is entitled to name and shame them. You have the power of social media today. How can we allow you, a citizen of this country, to stone a train? To set fire to a government building or a government vehicle? Or even a private vehicle? How can anyone take law into one's own hands? And how can anyone in political arena give fuel to it? Thinking minds like young people like you have to take care. Such wanton destruction of public property does us no honor. Convert public property mindset into our property. Feel the pinch as if it is your property that is being destroyed, subjected to loot and arson. We must always keep national interest above anything else. Let's build businesses, but for the benefit of society. My young friends, these days, because of social media and otherwise, there is avalanche of misinformation, disinformation. You have to be extremely discerning, extremely careful and cautious. Anti-national narratives are required to be neutralized by every individual. Youth of the country is a collective force which is so potent and powerful that it can make and it will make, according to me, this century a century of Bharat. We were Vishwaguru, we will be Vishwaguru. The entire world has that expectation today. I would not take long because the key to Viksit Bharat, the key to developed nation is with the youth. Youth of your kind have greater responsibility by having benefited enormously out of quality education. Unlock it and let us rise to the level of Vishwaguru sooner than we think. Together let us create a transformative Bharat, one that is profound, powerful, progressive and peaceful. My best wishes to you all. I'll take questions.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words of encouragement. We now begin the most awaited activity of today's event, that is Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankarji's interaction with the students. This communication will be based on exchanging ideas for building better Bharat. So I request the students to come forward and share their queries and ideas. Thank you.
Yes, what's your name? Your name?
Good evening, Honorable Vice President, sir, and other dignitaries. My name is Chaitanya Gulecha, and I am a student of NIT Raipur pursuing BTech in Computer Science. Respected sir, my question is, how can students from premier institution lead India's journey towards Atmanirbhar Bharat?
It's a good question. Atmanirbhar Bharat has taken roots. Atmanirbhar Bharat means that we become self-dependent. And we become self-dependent when our economies rise. Now, economy can rise when young people think out of the box. They research, they innovate. And let me give you an illustration. Our young population has done wonders. India takes pride in having startups. And startups have been very successful. Their number is in astronomical figures. India now has unicorns more than any other country in the world. And therefore, if you use your skill, look around that you can add value to anything that is needed by the society. Don't have fear of failure. Don't allow a creative idea to be parked in your mind. Failure is necessary for success. There are two things. One, after getting such quality education, one looks for a job with a corporate. Nothing wrong in that. Or a government job. But one can look around and find out this is needed. I can use technology for it. And that is why you'll find young people getting out of such institutes have created startups that are success role models. Follow it. Be aware of the governmental schemes. Now there is an ecosystem where every young boy and girl can fully exploit his or her potential to realize potential and transform it into dreams and aspirations. There is hand-holding mechanism now. During our time, we had no such hand-holding. We had rough terrain, headwind, no affirmative governance. Now, if an idea occurs to you, the power of that idea is such that governmental affirmative policies will come to your aid. Learn about them. I will urge the institutions to have workshops to make our young people aware the kind of assistance the government policies give. I have personally studied them and made an appeal to all institutions. Please make our youth aware by example that yes, X has done this. surely why will be persuaded to do something different but similar? Good question.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights.
Good evening, Honorable Sir, and all the esteemed dignitaries present here. I'm Shreya Sarangi, a second-year student from the Department of Architecture and Planning, NIT Raipur. Respected Sir, my question is, what advice do you have for the students to actively participate in India's policy-making and nation-building efforts? Should we also participate in politics?
It's a tough question. But in policy making, you can participate. And Prime Minister Modi has a mechanism where any citizen can give suggestions. You can give it to Niti Aayog also. And those suggestions are considered. But I have foreknown said one thing. And 4 distinguished gentlemen are present here to take note of my thought process. The greatest think tank for policy making is available to Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity, in the shape of alumni of prestigious institutions. If those alumni come together, there will be a strong brain powerhouse to help the nation plan policies. But if the youth decide that we will have participation in policy making, you can directly petition Parliament also. You can do that. But let me tell you, the power of an idea in policy making is so amazing that if it occurs to you, it will be magnetically taken care of and monetized immediately. As regards, should we also participate in politics? I never thought all my life I'll be in politics. I was a student always obsessed to be number one. I was always fearing the prospect, what will happen if I'm not number one? And that number one obsession, I was all throughout number one, but that obsession deprived me of lot many things. Don't have that obsession. I suddenly got into politics. I had no idea of getting into it. It will come to you. But the nation needs quality politicians. And I appeal to the young minds, how can you tolerate dysfunctional parliament? How can you withstand your parliamentarian not functioning in parliament, engaging in disruption and disturbance, rather than dialogue and debate and deliberation? Create pressure on social media. Make him accountable, make him her accountable. Follow what Constituent Assembly did. Little less than 3 years for 18 sessions. They dealt with most divisive issues, contentious issues. But there was not a single disruption, single disturbance. No shouting. No placard showing. No walking into the well. Disorder, unfortunately, has become order in temples of democracy. You should be worried. Because if in educational institutions, anything but education takes place, you'll be worried. Similarly, temple of democracy wants functionality, generate public opinion. You'll be making good policies. But since you are from a particular gender, a great change has come in this country. 1/3 reservation for women in Lok Sabha and state legislatures. And that reservation is horizontal and vertical. Our tribal women will be there. Our scheduled caste women will be there. Result, they will be involved with policy making. Imagine what a big change will happen in the country when Lok Sabha will have more than 1/3 women. More than 1/3, I say, because they can contest from general seat also. Contribute, use your discretion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. A very good evening, sir, and to all the dignitaries present over here. I am Tanya Singh, a second-year BTech student at IIT Bhilai. As a student passionate about contributing in advancement of our country, I would like to ask you, sir, how can we, as a student, contribute in making India a global leader in innovation and technology?
It's a good question, like all other questions. I'll tell you first thing. In my address, I have hinted 4 things. 1, Panch Pran, which every individual can do. 2nd, discipline and decorum. 3rd, we must militate against those who are disrupting public order. And we must name and shame those who are destroying property, public property. They are not for our nationalism, but innovation and technology. We have SCCL, CMD here. I would urge corporates to get involved with such kind of institutions, to make these institutions crucibles for research and innovation. Our country has not laid much emphasis earlier on research and development. Research and development decide the status of a nation in global committee of nations. We have to go march ahead other nations. And therefore, students can contribute, but they must have facilities. And therefore, you can do only when you have such kind of facilities available. I will urge the corporates, the public sector undertakings, and Chhattisgarh has plenty, to synergize with institutions like yours to handhold innovation and research by providing liberally CSR funds. Because research takes patience. And then let us not have research that is only for sake of research. The impact of research has to be felt on the ground. If you have an inclination, if you have an aptitude, follow that. कहा जाता है ना, सचिन तेंदुलकर यदि हॉकी खेलता तो पता नहीं क्या होता. So those of you who have aptitude for innovation and technology applications, enough is happening. Let me give you 2 illustrations. You are may possibly not be aware. Quantum computing, green hydrogen, blue economy, space economy. Just focus. When I went to ISRO, it was eye-opener for me. When I went to Indian Council of Scientific Research, oh my God, young people have done wonders. So here, if you will focus, let's say, I have to engage into, let's say, space economy. We have to have our share. Blue economy, we have to have our share. Enough avenues are there. Look around and come out of this silo of government service. People are too obsessed. I will appeal to the parents also not to force their children that try for government job, keep on trying for government job. Why? Look for avenues elsewhere. Let me tell you one thing. There was a time when not a single Indian soul was visible in Silicon Valley. Now is a time when there is not a single corporate in the world that does not have Indian genius at the peak. I am not overdoing it. You are the genius. Take a call There is enough by way of avenues you can perform and outperform, shine and outshine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
A very good evening, sir. Myself Lalit Gaur, a BTech Computer Science student at IIT Bhilai. And my question to you is, what steps can be taken to make India's education system more impactful and future ready?
Well, after 3 decades, the nation was fortunate to have national education policy. As Governor State of West Bengal for 3 years, I was also involved with it. Hundreds of thousands of inputs were analyzed. And then it was visualized that Bharat, ancient Bharat, was home to Takshila, Nalanda, many institutions of global eminence. People flocked to those institutions in pursuit of knowledge, and we also benefited thereby. And therefore, a need was felt in the country, rightly so, after 3.5 decades, to have national education policy. That has been a game changer. I would urge the distinguished people on the dais, the directors and the chairman board of governors. I am somewhat perturbed. When I go to institutions, I find there is not much awareness about what has been done for young boys and girls in national education policy. Please make boys and girls aware about it. And that will be something very, very great. Because, and I have no doubt, education is the most impactful, transformative mechanism to bring about equality, to cut into inequities, and to define governance. You will find, if you go through industrial groups, there were 10 top industries in the country in 50s, 10 in 60s, 10 in 70s, 10 in 80s. But after 90s, amongst those 10, you will find those who are skilled ahead of others in education are part of the Big 10. They employed technology. They did not inherit by succession business. They created one. So we are lucky to have great education. We are lucky to have great education policy. And just imagine, in Chhattisgarh, I am here, NIT, IIM, IIT, National Law School also. Generate synergy with government, public sector undertakings, private sector, and things will take a quantum jump. Thank you.
To the Honorable Vice President, respected dignitaries, and all my fellow students, good evening. I am Gautam Arora, a first-year student at Indian Institute of Management, Raipur, pursuing my MBA. Sir, my question to you is, what role does sustainability play in building a prosperous and inclusive India?
Sustainability plays a major role. Sustainable development is the only development that can save the planet. We are facing existential challenge by way of climate menace, and we don't have another earth to cohabit. Sustainable development means don't be reckless in utilization of natural resources. You are trustees. One cannot say, I can afford 5 cars. I can afford to use petroleum products because I can financially afford. No. You will have to resolve that you will optimally use natural resources. Reckless exploitation of natural resources has threatened our existence. So this is one, sustainable. Second, when it comes to utilization of water, imagine we are not sure about how to use it. पी लिया, आधा गिलास छोड़ दिया. But imagine if 1.4 billion people conserve it, what will happen? Electricity consumption. If you utilize as per your need, every unit saved, you are creating power by your actions. Sustainability means you don't have to work day in and day out. And for a good human being to generate sustainability, 5 प्राण को follow करो. You will have great feeling of satisfaction. But sustainable development is the only development that the nation needs, the world needs. And if we don't believe in sustainable development, we will be bleeding our economy and the planet will be heading for a disaster. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your valuable idea with us, sir.
I am Simran Jadhav, a first-year MBA student at the Indian Institute of Management, Raipur. My question to you is, sir, how can youth-driven startups and entrepreneurship shape the vision of a better Bharat?
By and large, before I came, my experience is that our youth are actually not aware of the contours of startups. They go by examples, but there is a department of the government of India that handholds you. So first you have to look to the situation. How do you create a startup? Now, a startup can be created by things that usually happen, but with slight deviation. And the government policy about startups is very tempting, very facilitating. It is the only policy of the government that allows you to reap advantage of tax for the duration you choose. It could be in the first 3 years, it could be in the middle 3 years, or thereafter. 3 by illustration. The number may be more. And therefore, if you impart quality to a particular thing, your startup will succeed. Your startup can be with ethnic clothes. Your startup can be with ethnic fruits, their marketing. India is a cultural center of the world. Meditation, different kind of yoga, particular kind of service, which means you bring technique, science, rationality into a particular activity. You can have a great startup to empower women who are in the villages. You can do it because it requires only a thought process. How do I connect? We didn't have for long how to hire a taxi. Suddenly we had Uber and Ola. We did not know how to market food. Then we have the platforms. Connectivity. So you look around, assess the need of the society, try to fill that need, and that you will find will be a startup. Startup. Start one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insight.
So this was the last question, sir. Thank you so much. With this, we end the interaction and the program. May I request the August gathering to please rise for the national anthem.